Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in South Florida, it's time for South Florida Business Radio. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of South Florida Business Radio, and this is going to be a fun one. Today we have with us Jack McColl with Credit Stacking. Welcome, Jack.
Lee, how's it going, man? It's great to be here.
I am excited to learn what you're up to. Tell us a little bit about credit stacking. How you serving folks?
Yes. So just on April 2020, about 15 months ago, I got my first business credit card. And in the last 15 months, I've scaled to about $500,000 in approved credit. And really, business credit for me has been something new as of April 2020. Before that, I was always creating companies. I've been an entrepreneur for many years, and I was always funding businesses with my own money, my own hard-earned cash, until I learned about business credit. And so that's what I've been on an awesome journey on, getting as much credit as possible, deploying that into my multiple businesses and many different investments. And basically with credit stacking, I'm on a mission to teach as many people as I can on how to access these large amounts of credit.
So now, can you define some terms, like what's the difference between credit or getting a loan? Or is business credit the same as a personal line of credit or home equity line of credit?
Yeah, really good question. So a loan is anytime you're paying interest really on set terms. So business credit cards is really what I focus on. I focus on that for two main reasons. The first reason being business credit cards don't actually report to your personal credit. So once you get a $50,000 0% interest business credit card, you can actually max that card out, even turn that credit into cash, and that utilization won't be affecting your personal credit score. So it allows you to get more and more credit throughout the year or years. And then secondly, the business credit cards, one, go up to $75,000, and we see pretty consistent $50,000 credit cards. And there's 0%. So it's 0% for the introductory period. This can be 9 months, 12 months, or even up to 18 months. And so we're changing a lot of people's lives to show people on how to get approved for these massive $50,000 cards at 0% interest for 12 to 18 months.
So now, what are the criteria? What do I need as a business person to kind of get some of this credit?
Yeah, so there's definitely some requirements. The first requirement to be actually having a business, and not only having a business, but make sure you're setting it up in the right format, right? So you want to set it up with the right NAICS code, which is essentially telling the banks your risk level, right? So if you have a construction company or a restaurant, that's much riskier than, for example, an e-commerce store, consulting company, or something with very low overhead. So it's really making sure you set the entity up in the correct way. And then after that, you want to optimize your personal credit. So this just means having as high limits as possible. And there's really good ways to increase limits on the personal side. You want to have at least 4 personal accounts. You want to have low inquiries, low utilization, no late payments, things like that. And even if you have things like that, there's easy ways to get those removed or even remove inquiries. So once you fit all those criteria, then you want to start focusing on building banking relationships. So this is really consisting of opening up personal checking and mainly business checking accounts at the banks that you want to apply for their business credit cards. You want to open an account, put some money in it, have some activity in that account. And then at that point, then you're ready to apply. And then when you apply for cards, there's a couple different ways. You can do it online, in person. In person is very effective. Or what really does it for us is actually applying through a relationship manager. So a relationship manager is someone that's very high level at the bank, and their goal is to get people these $50,000 credit cards at 0% interest. So my goal is to make people look attractive to these lenders. And once they're attractive, then I connect them to the relationship managers, and then they assist them on the applications.
So if you want a $50,000 credit limit, do you have to have $50,000 in the bank?
You don't. So also having more money in the account definitely helps. I recommend to have at least $5,000 sitting for at least a week, but more money, more time, the better. We see a lot of success with people having 10 to 20 $1,000 in the account. And then another thing, we're doing this for people that have brand new businesses, and also like college graduates. We're getting college graduates $40,000 0% cards, which is really incredible. So even if you have literally a brand new business started 2 weeks ago, that really doesn't have much of an effect if you have the strong personal credit, because that's always the foundation, your personal credit. And if that looks good, if your banking relationships are good, and you work with a relationship manager, then that's really the key to success.
So now, what if you're at a bank? Say you have a business account right now, but say you have a credit card that the limit's like $10,000. Is there something you can do to get more limit?
Yeah, there definitely is. And so depending on the bank, some can do a CLI, credit line increase, for a soft pull, but some do a hard pull. So basically what a hard pull is a hard inquiry that affects your credit. But anytime you do a CLI on a soft pull, that does not affect your credit whatsoever. So a couple of the awesome banks that only require a soft pull are like American Express, Bank of America, Citi sometimes, but other banks like Chase, US Bank, those actually require a hard pull, which I usually recommend against.
So sometimes it's just a matter of asking.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of times, like if you just spend a lot of money on the card and, max it out, pay it down, max it out, pay it down, they'll do it automatically. But a lot of times you have to ask. And so American Express, you generally have to ask. Bank of America, you have to ask. And it's as simple as just calling the number on the back of the card, letting them know you love the bank, love the card. You really get more benefit if you had more money, and then just request a higher limit.
And then if you are with those aforementioned banks, then that's not even you're not even getting kind of noted that you've asked for it. They're just giving it to you.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times it actually helps. So when banks look at your credit, they're issuing you credit based on comparable credit. And so if you only have low limits, you're going to continually getting lower limits. But if you have higher limits on the personal side, that's going to allow you to get higher limits on the business side. So it's really, really important that people, ask for credit line increases on the personal side, letting that new limit report on their personal credit, and then going for the business cards.
So then how do you kind of stack them? Do you just now have to open up 5 different bank accounts with $5,000 to $10,000 in each bank account in order to get the $50,000 in credit at each place?
That will give you the highest chance of success. Yes. It's not necessary, but anytime you have a banking relationship, it dramatically helps. So even having a personal checking with them, a different credit card with them, or a business checking. But anytime you have a business checking, that kind of just shows you're a little bit more serious. And anytime you have money in the account, it shows your liquidity. And so that makes you immediately less risky to them.
And then what's your backstory? How did you get involved in this type of business?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I've been in business for many years. I was always funding businesses with my own cash, and it was hard because we used to scale so much slower because we'd save all our cash, buy inventory, and then sell it, and then buy more inventory. But if we had more available credit or available cash, we could have scaled so much faster. So in April 2020, someone showed me how to get my first business credit card. They taught me how to. Or taught me that it didn't report to your personal credit. And then I just went crazy. I started talking with bankers, talking with banks, talking with older mentors of mine, and really just started to figure it out myself. And once I had a decent amount of knowledge, I started to teach people it. And once I started to teach people, I had more data points to see what was working, what wasn't working. And that really accelerated a lot. But really, a lot of the information that I know and that I teach in my programs is from relationship managers. And so, as I mentioned before, these are very high level business bankers. And these guys and girls aren't able to give out information unless they're asked. And so I ask them tons of really good questions. Basically, what kind of people are you looking for? And then once I get those answers, then that's how I optimize people's credit and making sure they're the best candidate to work with that bank on a high level.
So you're kind of a matchmaker?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I like to match them up, make people attractive to banks. And then, my relationship manager are thanking me because I'm bringing them, very attractive people in terms of their credit profile.
So now, are you primarily working with folks in South Florida, or is this something that anybody in the country can be taking advantage of?
This is all over the country. And so we have hundreds of members, and we're getting very high credit card approvals on a weekly basis.
So now, when you figured out how to do this, what was the strategy for moving it from, hey, this worked great for me personally, to, hey, I think this is a business that I can be helping other folks with?
Yeah, I mean, at first it was like, wow, this is really working for myself. I need to share this with my friends. And then once I realized like my strategies and my tricks could work on other people, I was like, okay, more people need to hear this, right? Like this has changed my life. I need to get this out there to help other people change their life and be more successful in business. And I've always had the biggest drive, the biggest passion to create value through products and services in business. And it was so hard for me for so many years because I was always lacking working capital. So, if I can teach someone how to get more capital, that's going to increase their chance of success in business, that's incredibly fulfilling.
So now, when you decided, okay, I think that not only is this a great thing for myself, but I think this is a great business that can really help other folks. How did you develop kind of the productization in order to monetize it?
Yeah, I mean, I spent weeks just putting together the videos, and I've reshot the videos multiple times, but I wanted to make a program that was as step by step and as many screen shares as possible. Like I've been through different courses and mentorships, and some of them were very vague. So I really wanted to make sure that what I put out was extremely clear and extremely step by step, so people would have the most success.
So when you developed the course, so all along you felt that this was the best way to deliver the information is via a course?
Yeah, I mean, we do a coaching call. We have videos. We have a Facebook group that's like really, really interactive, and it's cool too because like I'm still on the credit journey. Like I'm still applying for credit cards. I'm investing once I get the money from the credit cards, and any investment opportunity also that has worked for me, I then share it with my members in my my private community. So it's cool because I'm still on this journey. I'm trying to get more and more and more credit, and things in the industry are consistently changing. Like with COVID that happened, lending rules changed, and now that's it's much easier to get credit, and this is consistently changing. So it's really cool that I'm on the front lines talking with the relationship managers, getting more and more cards on a monthly basis, and then I can just relay all of this key information to my community.
So now if somebody wanted to learn more, so you said that they can even be at the beginning stages of just starting a business. They don't have to be kind of in there for 10 years. They could have just started and they can benefit from this training.
100%. Like you do not need to have a business that's old. You can literally start a business and have it 2 weeks old and get massive credit if you have strong personal credit. And even if you don't have strong personal credit, even if you have collections, there are easy ways to get that off that I teach in the program. I also have an in-house service that does that for people. But I always tell people this, it doesn't matter how messed up your credit is, doesn't matter where you are, by working with me, you'll get to where you want to be faster than any other way. I've gone through this. My credit used to suck, and I really accelerated very fast. And so I know exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And that's really what I preach to everyone.
So what's the first step for most people? Go to your website?
The first step is going to be go open up a personal checking account at Chase, start building that relationship there. And then as you're letting that account season, definitely learn about a little bit more what I do. I have a case study video that really walks through the process and strategies on how I went from having 0 business cards in April 2020 to getting approved for about $500,000 of approved credit in a 14-month period. And I have a case study that literally walks through all these strategies. So we'll include that in the show notes. And if you want to find me on Instagram, my Instagram is King of Debt on Instagram. I have tons of free content on my Instagram and my story highlights. But if you're interested, definitely check out this case study. It'll be super valuable for you.
And then the website for your firm, though, is creditstacking.com?
That's correct. Creditstacking.com.
Good stuff. Well, congratulations on all the success.
Hey, thank you so much, Lee. I appreciate it.
Now, one more time, that's Jack McColl, Credit Stacking. Go to creditstacking.com or check him out on any of the socials and Instagram, King of Debt, or connect with him on LinkedIn at Jack McColl. Thank you again, Jack, for sharing your story.
Awesome, Lee. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, this is Lee Cantor. We'll see you all next time on South Florida Business Radio.